Hi everyone on YouTube and all the NFL YouTube prognosticators and football fans everywhere. This is Andrew Warren, back here once again, giving you my thoughts about Week 2 and my picks for Week 3 for the 2025 NFL season. Check it out. Okay, first of all, let's take a quick fantasy football. Big shout out to the vocal change who beat me on the fantasy football this week. Unfortunately, I'm 2-0. What can you do? And a big shout out to the overall leader, Block Party Angelo, which is my co-worker. So give him a shout out with him. He's doing particularly well so far. He's in first place. Hey, someone can beat him. Whoever comes in first place, you get a shout out. That's the way it goes. But until then, I'll get to the shout outs in a bit on that one. But overall, straight up, I went 12-4, 23-9 overall the year. There you go on that one. Guess the spread a little bit better, 8-8, but we need a little bit more work to do on that one. Over and under went back to the face to the. Our face went back to face down to the earth on that one, and 1-3 on that one, and 5-3 overall in the year for that. But hey, what can you do? Green Bay and Washington, that was a pull-off upset for Green Bay. That was a good one. And Cincinnati, poor Cincinnati. Joe Burrow with a foot injury, which I think it was a bad broken toe or something like that. But anyways, now he's gone for the year probably. So what can you do on that one? And if I were Cincinnati, I would tank for the year, get some protection for Joe Burrow. That's my thing. Dallas and New York, probably one of the best games overall of the week. Detroit and Chicago, Detroit's back on track. The LA Rams and the Tennessee Titans. Nothing. Sorry, Tennessee. That's all I can tell you. The Dolphins and my Patriots. I gotta say, a lot of people in the prognosticated community picked my Patriots, but I didn't pick them because, as a Patriots fan, we always don't win in Miami. But that was in a great game, great emotional game. It could be a turning point of the season. We'll find out. But we got to win at home first. We have to start winning at home. Then I'll get some more momentum. San Francisco and New Orleans. I'm going to keep telling you about New Orleans, man. That's all I can tell you. Buffalo and the Jets. Buffalo, you're in. And sorry, New York Jets fans. Hate to say it. Baltimore and Cleveland. Baltimore made a turning point. They did. That's what I can tell you. Denver and Indianapolis. Indianapolis, give them credit. They haven't made a punt all so far this year. Them having an offensive explosion right now. I haven't seen like that since Andrew Luck or Peyton Manning were at quarterback. Arizona and Carolina. Arizona's coming off strong this year. We'll see how they can do. The Super Bowl rematch. Philadelphia has Kansas City's number. But I wouldn't falsely alarm on Kansas City yet. Tampa Bay and Houston. Man, that was a good Monday Night Football game. Tampa Bay with the game-winning touchdown. Really good. The LA Chargers and the Las Vegas Rams. Let's just say this was the Rams fall flat face of the earth. Well, for the Las Vegas Raiders, excuse me. That's the way I say it on that. Well, anyways, that's my thoughts about Week 2. Let's get on to my Week 3 picks. Okay, let's kick things off on Thursday night with Buffalo and Miami. Both teams coming off a short week. Buffalo got a win. Miami got a loss. Now Miami's going to travel to Buffalo. And to treats their own, Miami, I don't think it's going to get much easier for Miami. So anyways, that being said, I'm going to take Buffalo over Miami in this game. On the line, Buffalo is favored by 12.5 in this game. I'm going to take Buffalo minus 12.5. Over and under, it's 49. I'm not going to go under 49 in this game. The Green Bay Packers and the Cleveland Browns. I will say this. Cleveland, they're a young core. But Cleveland still has a lot of holes to fix. So that's why I'm going to take Green Bay over Cleveland to win this game. On the line, Green Bay is favored by 8 in this game. That's a full touchdown. I'm going to take Green Bay minus 8. The Tennessee Titans and the Indianapolis Colts. For this game, it's a division AFC South division matchup. The way Indianapolis been rolling, I'm going to take Indianapolis over Tennessee to win this game. On the line, Indianapolis is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Indianapolis minus 3.5. The Cincinnati Bengals and the Minnesota Vikings. Okay. Minnesota had lost their quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. So does Joe Burrow. But I actually like what Minnesota did yesterday when they packed in Desmond Ridder. And I always liked Desmond Ridder, though. I just thought he was on a bad team for many years in Atlanta. And all of a sudden he comes up here to Minnesota, which they have a good supporting cast around him. I mean, I know they have Carson Wentz in there, but if I were in Minnesota, I would go with Desmond Ridder just for the sake what he can do. What could he do with Minnesota compared to what he couldn't do in Atlanta? Like we saw that in Baker Mayfield, what he couldn't do in Cleveland. Look what he's doing in Tampa Bay. Look what Daniel Jones is doing now with Indianapolis compared to what he couldn't do in New York. We could say, if I were Minnesota, I think I would jump on that bandwagon with that one. Because I think Desmond Ridder was a good quarterback. I just thought he was on a bad team. They put him on a bad situation and everything in Atlanta. No coaching, no players supporting cast around him. Here you go to Minnesota. They have a good supporting cast around him. I think that being said alone, if this is a blessing in disguise for one player right now, it's Desmond Ridder. If I were Minnesota, I would start him over Carson Wentz right now. So, anyways, that being said, Cincinnati, I am not keeping faith anymore with Joe Burrow. They need protection of him. They need to get somebody like what my Patriots did in the draft next coming draft. They've got to get an offensive lineman to protect Joe Burrow. That's what they need. And for that, I'm picking Minnesota over in Cincinnati to win this game. On the line, Minnesota's favored by 3 in this game. I'm going to take Minnesota minus 3. But keep in mind, I would put my faith in Desmond Ridder right now just to see what he can do. That's just me. But I'm not the Minnesota Vikings, so I can't do nothing about that. My New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will say this was a great win for my Patriots. They desperately needed that. They desperately needed a win. They got what they deserved, but it wasn't easy. Now they're going to Pittsburgh, where they have Aaron Rodgers, and they have a pretty decent team, I will say that, but the biggest takeaway right now, they have to win at home. They have not had they have lost their home field advantage since Tom Brady left. That's key. You can have a good win all you want, but you need to win at home. As of right now, I do not have any faith in that. If they beat Pittsburgh, maybe. But as of right now, I'm not going to do that because I can't trust my Patriots at home right now. They definitely lost home field advantage since Tom Brady left. They have not had a winning record at home since he's gone. Since then. Ever since he left to go to Tampa Bay. Let's just say that. So you're looking at basically a 6-year losing season drought at home. So, anyways, that being said, I'm going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers over my Patriots to win this game at home in New England. On the line, Pittsburgh's favored by 1 in this game. I'm going to take Pittsburgh minus 1. If the Patriots can pull this off, I might have some high hopes, but not now. The Philadelphia Eagles and the LA Chargers. The LA Rams, excuse me. But anyways, this game, if I had to pick a game of the week, this is one of them. This should be like at least a 4 o'clock game or something like that. This should be one of those, like the top commentator, like Jim Nantz and Tony Romo. There should be something like Tom Brady and I forget the other guy right now. Top of my head, they should broadcast this game instead. I think this could be the game of the week for them. Anyways, that being said, really good, really two good teams are going to battle it out, but it's in Philadelphia. That's why I'm going to pick them. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles over the LA Rams to win this game. On the line, Philadelphia is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Philadelphia minus 3.5. The New York Jets at Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa Bay. Despite what Tampa Bay won in the game-winning touchdown, I'm actually going to... I think this could be a good turning point for Tampa Bay. I'll say this. This is a... If I had to pick a team of destiny right now, which I did in my early predictions, you saw me go them for the conference championship game and lose over there. I think this trend continues. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay over the New York Jets to win this game. On the line, Tampa Bay is favored by 7 in this game. I'm going to take Tampa Bay minus 7. The Las Vegas Raiders and the Washington Commanders. Now for this game, this is a game this is desperate. Washington really desperately needs right now. And so does Las Vegas. I'm not going to argue about that. But the way the team's set up for Washington, a much better ball team, I'm going with the Washington Commanders over the Las Vegas Raiders to win this game. On the line, the Washington is favored by 3.5 in this game. I'm going to take Washington minus 3.5. The Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. An NFC South Division matchup. This is a much tougher for Carolina. I will say Carolina for this. I think they're starting to come around right now. So I would be on the lookout the next couple of years for them. But that being said alone, it's not time for them yet. So I'm going to take Atlanta over Carolina to win this game. On the line, Atlanta's favored by 5 in this game. I'm going to take Atlanta minus 5. Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. If I were going to say a good bounce back for Houston, they have to win a division game. This is an important game for Houston to keep it up. Say all you want, it's too early, but it's never too early to win your division games. Every game counts in the NFL. I say this all the time. Every game matters. I don't care if it's early in the year or not. Every game matters. As of right now, this game's important for Houston. They have to win. So, anyways, that being said alone, I'm picking the upset in this one. I'm going to take Houston over the Jacksonville Jaguars to win this game. On the line, Jacksonville's favored by 1.5 in this game. As the upset, I'll take Houston plus 1.5. Denver Broncos and the LA Chargers. Really good division matchup from there. Again, in this situation, every game matters. As I said for this, if you want to go to the playoffs, you got to win your division games. And I think this is the case scenario for this one. I think the winner of this might get the top wild card, or at least the loser gets the lower wild card seed. I could see both of them being in the wild card on this. Anyways, that being said, it's at LA. I'm going to take the LA Chargers over the Denver Broncos to win this game. On the line, the LA Chargers are favored by 2.5 point favorites in this game. I'm going to take the LA Chargers minus 2.5. The New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks. Well, despite two bad football teams for them, I got to go who is a better ball team in this. That's Seattle. And it's at home in Seattle. So I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks over the New Orleans Saints to win this game. On the line, I will give the Saints this. The Seahawks are favored by 7.5 in this game. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints plus 7.5. The Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos. For this game, this is a much win for Dallas. They want to keep in the hunt in the playoffs. I know it's early to talk about playoffs, but it's never too early to get something going right now. They have to get something going. Anyways, that being said, I think I'm going to take Dallas over Chicago in an upset in Chicago. On the line, then Chicago's favored by 1 in this game. I'm going to take Dallas plus 1. And for San Francisco and Arizona, now we all heard Mac Jones had a good game last week. Hey, I think all of a sudden he needed to get a good coaching. I think Bill Belichick wasn't working out for him. So now he goes to see Kyle Shanahan and he wins the game. But that was against New Orleans. You got to have a much harder time to play to play Arizona. Arizona is a much competitive football team than New Orleans right now. And for that, I think Arizona has a statement to make. So I'm going to pick them as take them. I think I'm not sure if they're upset or not. But anyways, I want to take Arizona over San Francisco to win this game. At first, I thought it was a pick 'em, but I guess not. But on the line, that Arizona, I guess, is favored by 1.5 in this game. I'm going to take Arizona minus 1.5. And for Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants. I will say this. If the Kansas City Chiefs don't win this game, that's when I get the O-line for the Chiefs right now. Like I keep saying, every game matters right now. This game's the most important game for Kansas City right now. If they want to bounce back and get into the playoff picture, this is it. I don't care if it's a bad team or not. They have to be in this game. They have to win. Otherwise, you can't be in. I don't know what to tell you on that. Anyways, that being said alone, I'm gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs over the New York Giants to win this game in New York. It's an important game for Kansas City. They have to win. On the line, Kansas City's favored by 6 in this game. I'm gonna take Kansas City minus 6. Over and under, it's 45. I'm gonna hedge my bets and go under 45 in this game. And for Monday Night Football, a really good one. The Detroit Lions and the Baltimore Ravens. Now for this game, this is going to be a quarterback duel for the ages. Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff. I think these two quarterbacks are going to go at it, throwing one touchdown after another. But some team is going to have to win. That's why I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens to win this game. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens over the Detroit Lions to win this game in Baltimore. On the line, Baltimore's favored by 6 in this game. I'm going to take Baltimore minus 6. Over and under, it's 51.5. I'm going to go over 51.5 in this game. Okay. Big shout out this week is Justin Bridgewater's Find us on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter. Only reason why I give him a shout out because we're playing each other on my fantasy football this week. So if you watch the CFL too, check out his CFL videos. But I don't know if he's doing all of his picks lately. It's on Twitter because he has a busy schedule like I do. That's why I'm in my car getting ready to go to the gym. I got a busy schedule too, so we're all busy. So hey, I'm trying to get in for everybody, making my promises. I will do that. But big shout out to Justin Bridgewater's Find us on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and I like his team. Judge Bridgewater's Finest for Bella. So thank you for that team, Justin. You know how Bella meant really to me. She was like my best friend and pal. And everything. I still miss her. Just seeing her in a urn right now makes me have a little tear here and there. I'm saying miss her every now and then. But anyways, we have a little bet going on. I'm going to be wearing my I Love Breakfast t-shirt if he wins. But if I win, he gives me a shout out in the CFL picks video. So there's a little fun thing we're going to do. So big shout out to him. And also, by the way, if you want to have a great cleaning soda guy, check these out. Dr. Squatch's Wood Barrel Bourbon and the Wood Barrel Dio. They're both pretty good. Check these out. I'll have these links in the description down below. Really good for the fall time in winter. Smells like a good wood, I would say probably a good, nice bourbon smell. If you want to have a nice bourbon smell. Also, if I can find it, matching cologne. I like to wear cologne once in a while, just to make clean and nice and daddy. Check out Bentley Intense for Men too. Good matching product for that. So it's a good bourbon smell too, with bourbon. I would say a little chestnut and probably a tiny bit of leather. I'm not a big leather person, but it works well with this. It's a big woodsy bourbon and chestnut smell. Pretty good. And it's a cheapie too for $33. I'll have this one down below too. So then, check out all these 3 products right here, and check out the rest of the NFL YouTube prognosticator page in the description down below. Till then, this is Andrew Warren saying, rock out and eat your breakfast.